Some guests bring good energy, others bring secrets. This was Stampede weekend in Calgary. Fun and fully booked when I hosted a group of guests that were really quiet, like extremely quiet. When I received a message at 1 a.m. to come and give a fan out to the guest. I walk into their space at 1 a.m. with the fan, and I can confidently say that I was not prepared for what I saw. Let me explain. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's story had me questioning my gut, my booking process, and if there was a better way of keeping tab of who was actually in my house. So this group booked with me for Stampede weekend. You know, Stampede is a crazy event in Calgary. You're usually booked for months. People come into town for Stampede. The city is packed, guests are loud. During the day, usually, like, I don't care, you know, like, you can come, you can have a good vibe. But this group, they got there dead quiet, like, extremely quiet. So they booked for 2 people. There were no red flags. Everything was okay, but I just felt like something wasn't adding up. Every time I passed by, I would always cross paths with one guest, the same face, and at the time I didn't really have cameras, so I didn't know who was in my house. I would see the same guest, same face, a bunch of really quiet and silent steps. And you know what, like, it's a shared space. I'm not trying to get into people's business, but there's always like a gray area, like a gray line between respecting people's space and being able to identify a complete vibe shift. I'm in my room just catching up on some Selling Sunset. I've seen the same episode twice, but for some reason I like seeing people argue over $10 million listings. I somehow feel like that's better than a chaotic checkout. So that makes me feel good. That's how I choose to live my life. Anyways, it's around 1 a.m. outside, and here I am hearing the front door creaking open. And I'm asking myself, what could that be? Then I get a message. It's really hot in the room. Do you have a spare fan? Alberta is an interesting province. A lot of people just don't have AC. In the summer, it might be hailing. In the winter, you might just get slapped with a plus 20 degrees Celsius, and everyone just acting like this whole thing is normal. The temperature is all over the place. And guys, I looked into installing that central air conditioning once, but then I was given that 5-figure quote. And you know what? I decided that it's okay to just melt in my dignity, because there was no way in hell that I was gonna do that in this economy, especially in Canada. Nope, that was not happening. Okay, so I grabbed the fan and walk over, hand it over to the guest. He plugs in the fan and quickly says that the fan is not working. I walk into the room, I try to make it work, and then that's when it hit me. Something is extremely off. I noticed that there are more bodies than the booking in a room. So one guy is standing there like if nothing is happening. The other person is just chilling on the bed, and the third person is not even in plain sight. Like, this person is hiding in the closet, full on belly out, and then holding up a suitcase like that was some form of invisible cloak. Honestly, in my head, I'm like, sorry, this is not Narnia. Like, I can see you from how close I was to you. You're also breathing really heavily. Like, I don't know what you're doing there. I pause, I blink, and then I reset before actually speaking, because it really got to me. I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong room, if I just walked into a group Airbnb that I'm not aware of, but no, this is my house. So I need some explanations. Okay, like, I speak to the guest that I always see, and I tell him, what is all this? And then, mind you, this guy has the audacity to pretend like he is shocked and this is also news to him. I'm like, sir, like, why are you acting confused? And he's like, yeah, this person just dropped in late. I'm like, what? This is not like a layover. What do you mean he dropped in late? That doesn't make any sense. You guys got two people, now there are three people. Like, I don't even know if someone is hiding in my bathtub at this moment. Thank God I didn't go to check the bathroom. I was already having too much to process. And now I'm in this weird like host limbo where I'm like, okay, do I report this? Do I kick them out, or do I pretend like I'm not seeing the grown man that decides to hide in my small closet? There is this person on my property that I am not aware of, no ID, no name, like nothing. It's just a pure stranger. From an insurance perspective, that didn't really make sense. And from the city's perspective as well, this was just big trouble where I could have been fined so much freaking money for random just pretending or just staying there without me knowing, and going over the city's occupancy limits. So like all of this had me thinking I didn't want my license to get revoked, and it was a much bigger deal than I guess the group actually thought it was. For them it was just like all fun and games, but no, like this was some serious business and it had to be handled as such. So then I tell them, I'm like, listen, guys, you booked for two people. I didn't sign up for no surprise guest. And yeah, like we cannot have that. When hosting becomes too much, I try to stay calm, but also firm. No yelling, no threats, just vibes. The main guest gives me this look like, come on, man, just one night. And I'm just like, that's the problem. It's one night too many. But here's the dilemma. By the time I actually catch this, it's quite late. It's like 1 a.m. I can't really throw people out at 1 a.m. Not because I'm nice, no, but because I need to legally protect myself first in this whole mess. I decide to just sleep on it for the night, document everything, and take a mental snapshot of what just happened. I update the reservation on the app, and the next morning I send a message as follows. Hi, I noticed that you guys had surpassed the occupancy after I dropped the fan last night. Please disclose every person that's part of this reservation and make sure that they've checked out accordingly. So this guest, they just decide to leave. Pure silence, no apology, no nothing. They just left, and that was it. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I failed to leave a review. Funnily enough, they left me a good review. I don't like to play Airbnb police, but when it comes to your home and your well-being and the fact that you are living there as well, there's certain things that you just don't play with, and that's one of them. You don't get to play chill when people are treating your listing like some form of underground hostel. The Stampede weekend, two guests and one bonus human hiding in a closet for me to find out. That's how all of that played out. If this story had you entertained, cringing, or side-eyeing next guest, please don't forget to drop a comment below, and thank you again for watching and making it this far. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and see you guys next time.